Connected.
Muy bien, gordita, que toma agua y está muy bien. Relax.
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay. Lord Caitanya. No? Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Okay.
Hiding.
Yeah, I was putting my hair.
Yes. Okay, let's see here.
Yes. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda.
Nityananda, Nityananda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, Nityananda. Dvaita, we have to say.
Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
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 Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita, Jesus, let's see, Jesus, Paul,
Yeah.
Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada,
Jesus Paul,
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jesus
Paul,
Paul,
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jesus
Paul,
Paul,
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jesus
let's pray.
Jesus
Paul,
Paul,
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. That is it.
No, that's okay. That you started Hare Krishna.
Okay, okay. Jesus Paul, Srila Prabhupada.
Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada.
Jesus Paul, Srila Prabhupada.
Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada.
Jesus Paul, Srila Prabhupada.
Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada.
Jesus Paul, Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada, the one that started the Hare Krishna movement.
Yeah. Srila
Welcome.
Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada.
Sri
Srila Prabhupada.
Let's see. Sri Advaita
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri
Sri
Krishna
Krishna.
Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda.
Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya. There's a new one, a bold person.
Oh, a new one, ball person.
And he doesn't have the white voice. But skin is a little bit behind.
Could be Srivas, maybe?
I don't know. Okay.
Could be Srivas. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's Esco.
They don't tell me.
They don't tell you.
What they would tell me once upon a time. I don't know.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. They don't.
Oh.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gauranga, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachanga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Gaura, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachanga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gauranga Gaurachandra, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
All right, so why don't you read it?
Yes,
Yes. Pretty hot over here.
very hot.
Yeah. So let's see
Too
how
much
long it lasts.
humidity here.
We'll just read a little bit. from
Sissy,
that.
you will read a little bit. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah. Okay, let's see here.
okay.
All right.
You read this orange thing. It's too orange.
Yeah.
It's orange for you?
Too orange. No.
No, it's perfect for your eyesight. Right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Sí, perfect.
But that's okay. I'll change it.
No, you read it.
Okay.
Last time I read.
Okay.
Sí,
Yeah.
sí, sí, sí.
All right. Move to a new window.
Music in my ears.
What's that?
Okay, wait. Chino. Thank you for the
Hey, it's Ryan here. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 different types of running man by learning all 3 different
Okay, we're back, I think. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I just hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, people. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay. After all impostors.
Wait.
Oh,
I'm looking.
what here?
Let's see. How about library? How about
Okay, but
what was
the
it?
big one.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. Transcendental
Knowledge.
knowledge. Okay. Chapter 4. Okay, this is chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita here. Okay, and let's move this to the window.
Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, chapter 4, Gita. You want to read? You can read it.
Yes. Okay. Transcendental knowledge. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to sun god,
Vivaswan.
Vivashan,
Vivaswan.
Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed into Manu, Spanish. Okay, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed to
Ishvaku.
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 This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science, as it appears to be lost, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost. Period. That very ancient science of the relationship to the Supreme is today told by me to you. You are my devotee
Because. Oh, to
because
you. Because.
because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Very
Why don't you
amazing.
read it again? It's a
Okay.
good verse.
That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science.
Yeah, I mean, that is so important. My whole life before I made this contact, I didn't know that I had some relationship with, like people say, you have a relationship with God, but it didn't make sense before. I mean, a relationship with God, who, what, what is this? I don't what I don't see this relationship. Yeah, I see a relationship with another person.
Yeah.
You know, I see a relationship to the world or worldly things, but to God. Yeah, but it's see, supreme science. You know, supreme science. Yeah, and actually, a lot of the people on this path now, they should be actually looking at this as a science, and not like some sentimental blind belief. Oh yeah, I just believe in this. It's in Krishna or God or a guru. I surrender my life to them and just do what they say because the scriptures say that. And, no, it's very scientific. You need to know these things. It's a science, and actually, the devotee has to be a real devotee of the Lord, where they have actual symptoms of a divine relationship. Otherwise, you know, it's doubtful, and people don't know. So people need some assurance and stuff. So that's the purpose of the book, is to begin to make it clear, and then you have what they call a devotee, is a person that has that relationship with God. They actually, it manifested.
See,
and they can teach it because they have experience. They can say, yeah, you see, it says that in the book, and this is how it shows up in my life personally, and this is how I got it. Um, so the thing was, well, anyway, we'll get more into that later. Let's read the next verse. Don't go too far, too fast here. Okay, so something like this. Is it this one?
No.
No. This one.
Arjuna said, the sun god Vivavan is senior by birth to you. I was born with it. By birth in my birth.
Mhm.
How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him?
Hmm. What do you think
That,
that means?
well, I don't know, because I was born, like for me, I was born with it. So I never had to believe in it. It was,
You're born with it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's very difficult to put into, like to understand how it works for others. You see?
Yeah, you're born with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the book teaches. Well, actually, no. How I know because I was also born. Well, not actually born with it per se, but it was awakened.
Yeah, you were awake.
Yeah,
I was
but it
born.
wasn't. See, like my students, they have a better handle of how it works because usually you get that awakened by a guru, a spiritual master, because a lot of people aren't born with it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Most.
yeah. So yeah, most aren't.
Yeah.
And so usually, this is why this is a science. So, this like this. What happened here? Put that down. Yeah, that's why this is a science. And if you follow the formula, you test the result. And the problem with what I see with Krishna consciousness as it's been taught uh, as of late, say the last 50 years, it's not treated like a science. It's almost like a blind belief thing.
Yeah.
Like blind, they call it blind adherence to these rules and regulations and not knowing where it's going. It's meant to have this relationship uh, between our soul and God.
Exactly.
And so whatever guru or teacher you're following, I mean, the question to ask is, first of all, do they have that relationship? What is the symptoms of that relationship? Are they for real? Because in the world, a lot of people are trying to sell you something that they're not really have no product, and so the product here is that relationship already established in somebody.
Yeah.
So do they have the product? And that's the only thing I have a problem with.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people say they have the product, but they don't have it, and they don't have the symptoms of having a product. Because if you have this relationship with God, there should be some manifestation of it,
Yeah.
something real in this world, not just some intellectual, like let me quote a bunch of verses and not see any tangible relationship. Like, okay, like if I have a relationship with her, you can see, oh, those guys are related.
Okay.
They have some kind of connection. Their symptoms, and that should be also for the person that has with God. I mean, what is their symptoms of actually having some established relationship? And so, anyway, that's our contribution to Vaishnavism. I feel here is to get more scientific about it and to show, well, people say we're sahaja. Sahaja means you're not really real. You're lying to people, cheating them. Well, people are getting a relationship established with their Lord, with God, that people can see. You can see they have symptoms at, and they say, well, that's not real, but the book says it's real. The book is like the instruction guide and the confirmation. So the books say, yeah, if you have this relationship, established this divine transcendental relationship, the symptoms are tears
Real.
come to
Yeah.
tears come to your eyes,
Mm.
choking, laughing sometimes, crying. So that's what the books teach us in the
Yeah.
devotional books. But people are not looking at these things because they need help. They need to see.
But it's even if even I was born with it, and I realized because I can see things, but you guide me to things that I never saw before. You see?
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. They call that sheepsha, teacher. It means further instruction in
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
It's like a lot of Christians. They have also this relationship with God awakened, but they could use more instruction because they don't have a lot of this like knowledge, scientific knowledge about it. It's more intuitive. You just kind of feel it and all that. And but if you try to explain it with people, they think you're crazy.
yeah.
But if you have the scientific formula about these things, say, well, yeah, you do this and this and this, and this is the symptoms of the relationship, then people start to see, oh, this is reasonable. That makes sense. You know. Otherwise, God is a sentiment, like some fantasy or some speculation, and that's the problem. Like one person asked today, asked me, why are there so many religions? Well, there could be just actually one religion mainly, but there's so many because of speculations, because very few people actually know that God they're worshiping. They have a pious feeling like, yeah, there's a God, I want to depend on that Lord, but a lot of people don't have it either developed at all or just a little developed. They can go deeper in it, in other words.
The
So,
base is
yeah.
all the same in all
Yeah.
the religions. That's why I hate religions.
Mhm.
But base is the same. There is a God. Well, I mean, this is
Yeah,
all the same
we're
base.
to
Yeah,
we're to
yeah,
make the Lord happy,
yeah,
worship
yeah,
Him.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But a lot of people don't even know that anymore. They think God is a bunch of rules that you have to follow. That's religion.
yeah. Yeah, of course.
You see,
I
that's
don't
what,
like
yeah,
religion.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people that have a relationship
Yeah,
usually
of course,
don't.
of
Yeah,
course. Yeah, okay. I don't know.
yeah. Even Gita says in the 18th chapter, abandon religion
Yeah,
and just take shelter of me with your relationship.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's much better.
that's better. Yeah,
Much
that's
better.
why you like this path.
See, I like, but I mean,
Yeah, relationship. Just go
yeah,
right to it, man.
I just went to it straight away. I
Yeah.
didn't have to do anything. You did it. You brought Lord Caitanya
I
next to.
just brought him to you.
Well, you brought him to me the second
Introduction,
day.
interview.
I saw him,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that was it.
yeah,
Double
yeah,
chicken is my double chicken
yeah,
omelet.
yeah,
Now I have a lot of them. There's a new one
yeah,
that we're gonna figure out.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
what one
yeah, yeah.
is?
A
Yeah,
new one.
it's a new
Yeah,
one.
it's like the pastime with. It's very simple. Like in this case, it was like Mars Pratiprudra in a pastime. I just read that a few days ago.
Oh,
The king,
yeah,
the great king, he wanted an interview with Lord Chaitanya, who represents God, right? And Sarvabhauma was converted by Lord Chaitanya. He was just kind of a proud scholar at first, and Lord
yeah,
Chaitanya made him a devotee, you know. And then the king heard about that, and he called him. He says, "Oh, you know, you got the mercy of the Lord to have this interview."
yeah,
Basically, has this transcendental
yeah,
relationship, this prema, you know. And so he said, "Can you get me an interview like you got?" And Sarvabhauma. See, the Lord does pastimes, and so he came in that incarnation like a play. So he played sannyas, and he's a sannyasi can't meet a king and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
To show the love, see the love of Maharaj Pratabrudra, he was already a devotee, and he was like so, like what? The Lord is not going to give me an interview, you know, and but that's what it's all about is to get an interview, an introduction. And you see, the king went to the actual devotee that was converted and had the potency of the Lord. See, and through the devotees, you get it.
Yeah.
You know, this is over and over again the same teaching.
It's the
And
same thing
yeah, and if you're
with
not
different
yeah, yeah,
names.
yeah.
Same
Like
thing.
yeah, and like so she's like a natural devotee of God and has
Yeah.
angel come and stuff. And so I come in her life, and instead of angels coming, Lord Chaitanya
Lord
comes,
Chaitanya gave the second day, and I
takes
was
over the whole
he
thing.
took over,
He did.
and I this I
The
was
angels go in the background.
hesitating, and I feel I say sorry to angels and archangels that have been working with me all my life, you see. But then and now Lord Chaitanya is with me, 24/7. And I was so hesitant. You have no idea my hesitation to tell you. There's
Wow.
a tall guy walking with us. I waited like 3, 4 days, and
Oh,
when I see someone, means that someone needs to give you a message. I thought,
Ah.
oh, maybe this is a past one person,
Yeah.
and he's going to tell you something,
Oh.
but he's not talking. So I had to tell you. Maybe by telling you,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would know and recognize, and then there is some message coming to me. And I said, look, this is a very tall guy, barefoot, walking with us. And he said, oh, yeah, Lord Caitanya. And I was like, oh, okay. Second day. So that was my 100% confirmation that all of these readings, although it felt very familiar
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
it feels like familiar. It felt very familiar to me. That was my confirmation that this is real.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I don't believe in anything.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
me.
It's intelligent.
See, see, see. So this is me. I don't like religions. I don't like set things. I don't. So I don't believe in anything unless you show me. And because I can see what people cannot see, I saw Lord Chaitanya the second day. Maybe he knew that otherwise I wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Yes, he's good. And now he's with us all the time. When we walk together, I was telling today to him, we were walking together, and Lord Chaitanya always walks next to him. So if I'm walking next to him on this side, Lord Chaitanya will be walking there. So for a moment, I turned myself and I put myself here
Yeah.
to see what Lord Chaitanya did. So he came to where I am now. So he does walk next to him, not next to me.
Really? Wow.
This is amazing. But I mean, I tried it. I tried.
Why does he do that?
I don't know, because he's very close to you, and that's why I'm saying to you,
Oh.
if you keep on chanting him,
Yeah.
I'm sorry about Krishna,
Yeah.
him and only him,
Yeah.
then he will come to you and he will show himself. This is what he said, and you
Okay.
need to be ready.
All right. I'll chant his name.
He. I don't know. He's very close to you because he's next to you. Although he's next to me now as well
Yeah.
at home when you are not here.
Yeah.
But when I'm with you, he's next to your side, not my side. Next to your side.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very, very wow.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Honestly, it's amazing.
Well, I've always felt this special protection.
Yeah,
from,
you do have it. Lord Caitanya.
That's what I just share with people. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
just get Lord Chaitanya.
He's special. He's very special.
Yeah, you get just your whole life becomes empowered,
Amazing.
different, very different, and you see things that
You
other people
see
can't see.
things.
You see the scriptures, and they make sense to you.
Makes
and-
it well. You see, something about me, I never felt I was reading something out of the ordinary. Like for me, was like normal
Familiar,
to read this.
yeah.
Yeah, familiar.
Yeah.
Maybe come from another lifetime or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, probably, yeah.
But I don't feel unfamiliar to
Yeah.
anything that we read. Only the names I cannot
Yeah, that's okay.
spell them or
Yeah.
read them properly.
Yeah, it's other lifetimes, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the story is like, oh yes, of course. I know. Sometimes I know before we read it what is coming up. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay, so
Okay,
let's see.
let's
Let's go
let's
to.
continue.
Let's see, where is that? Oh yeah, it's over here. Okay.
So, the personality of Godhead said, many, many births, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O
Subduer.
subduer of the enemy. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. Although I am born and my transcendental
Oh,
body.
wait. Let's not go
Okay.
too far. You want to say? Go ahead, say something.
No, I was going to say this is what I feel about many, many births
Mhm.
that I felt with you, that I have known you for many, many lifetimes. The same I feel with Lalita.
Mhm.
So this is, to me, is how I feel.
Yeah, that's he's saying that goes for all souls.
Yeah, really.
For Arjuna, represents everybody. Many, many births that we have been with God. But that's the thing. Most of us are been unaware of that Lord.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, so it gets really powerful when you become aware of that person that's been with us forever, and you realize how can you not have how can he not be the best friend? Because the Lord is with us in all the incarnations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And just tries to get our attention. Eventually, see, we get this knowledge, it begins to turn us inside, looking oh, I see. I have this internal relationship with God that I didn't know because they don't usually teach you in school, and then you go to, like religion and they teach you something, rules, regulations, not so much the relationship. Um, so the book is actually, the religious books are actually trying to teach us the relationship that we each have with that Lord so that we become spiritually empowered in our
Yeah,
lives.
amazing.
Otherwise, we're materially empowered,
Yeah.
and that means weak. See, if you study, see, this book is Transcendental Knowledge, talks about the three modes of nature, and the mode of ignorance is weakens the soul most of all. Passion gives it a little more energy. You become fruitive, it has its symptoms. And goodness gives it more clarity, more life, but not fully. It's not fully manifest. And then we're ultimately meant to get in this connection and communion with the transcendental form of the Lord.
Yes.
That's what we focus on.
Yes.
This subtle um, um, union and communion and empowerment from that Lord. It's the best.
It's the best.
Yeah, and it's the perfection of life. I mean, all life for everybody is for that.
Yeah.
Looking towards that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing to be honest. But then for me it was like ever. And when I went to primary school, and kindergarten, I started with a English school, but was Jewish people. Amazing. I never believed in anything, but I always believe in God because I was born with it.
Mm.
My parents never taught me anything to believe in anything, just
Mhm.
believe in whatever you want. And I grew up the first 8, 9 years with Jewish people all around me, and I believed in God. Like God was my motto.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. Amazing.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Back to the verse. I'm not fading out here a little bit more. There you go.
Although, okay, okay. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never
Deteriorates.
deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
Yeah. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates. And so when we awaken to this relationship, we're given a transcendental form, even though we may have a body, physical body,
Yeah.
but we start to have activity on this transcendental platform in our worship. That's why the Christians that are awakened on their level, they have Holy Spirit worship. It's to do with the Spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit and truth, the ecstatic spirit. And same thing, Vaishnavas are meant to have that too. And that basically, that's our work, is to help awaken the devotees to this transcendental relationship, and not just one of rules and regulations
Yeah.
as the inspiration. We're meant to ultimately be inspired by the Lord Himself in that relationship. Uh, and in this worship, this intimate communion, is the purification, is the inspiration, is the revelation, is everything.
Mm.
Everything you need that other people do with on the beginning levels, which is the Vaidhi, they do it, try to be purified and connect with God through the rules. But it's kind of like, it's not as intimate as this kind of worship. Yeah, this is more juicy and more wonderful
Amazing.
and more powerful, more everything
More
actually,
everything.
more
It's
everything.
pretty amazing to be honest. But then, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, honestly, I don't know how the steps are or whatever they have to do to get this relationship with Lord Caitanya, but he is a miracle. He's like Jesus. Jesus is a miracle worker. And Lord Chaitanya is the same, more so.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that because they're listening, but they're both miracle workers. Yeah, yes.
Well, Lord Chaitanya is the latest incarnation. It's natural that it will be a more deeper revelation.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Jesus is happy that we realize these things.
See,
You know?
He is
Yeah,
right. And I'm using, before I thought he was so holy that I would not use him for anything.
yeah.
Now he comes with healing sessions everywhere, all the time. He's there.
Yeah. Read that verse again. It's so good.
Although I was unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
Hmm. So another, good thing. It teaches us that God comes again and again and again, and not to be so always stuck that okay, Jesus was the only one, and then before Jesus it was Moses that was the only.
Yeah, but if you believe in Jesus, you believe in God because he's Jesus. Jesus is the Son, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Father, like Son.
yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot believe in Jesus without believing in God. It's
Exactly,
impossible.
impossible. Yeah. Well, some people do, but
Do
yeah. Well,
they
they
do?
yeah they can believe in anything. Doesn't mean it's
Okay.
real.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It's really like impossible
Yeah. I mean, that's
to
why
me.
there's so many.
But then,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I think that's enough for tonight. I don't have any more energy for this.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lord Caitanya.
I'll see you in the morning. We'll get some more energy.